it's been alleged that she perhaps used her father's connection and therefore there was always someone in uniform to escort her through. But Sanjeev, I'm sure that it is not as easy as sending an SMS or a WhatsApp message to say, I'm landing at this and this, please come and fetch me. This breach actually boggles one's mind, Sanjeev Sood.
See, this generally is a practice that when some senior officer or their spouses or their children they move to airport for some purpose, there is always local protocol. It is not an authorized protocol, but local protocols. There are liaison officers deployed at the airports who facilitate this kind of movement, who also facilitate right up to the security checkup and on their return journey from the security checkup till the time they are out of the airport premises, they are escorted, they are facilitated. So I don't, I mean, deny that this could have been possible, that somebody always escorted her to and from the security checkup points. And this must have emboldened her because initial few consignments would have passed through the green channel, and this must have emboldened her to carry out bigger tasks.
Absolutely. I mean, to make so many trips in a span of 6 months, and I just find it strange because there was also some, talk in between of not having these privileges given to anybody who is a VIP or a top officer. But that's another conversation. Sanjeev Sood, let me come back to you. Bhaskar Rao, sir, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast, sir. I want to ask you, it is just a question. You know, now the Mr. Rao, that is who's a cop, the father of Ranya Rao, says, I have no clue of what was going on. Now I find that rather strange because she got married apparently 4 months ago, but before that she must have stayed with the father. Any parent, I'm talking about his role as a parent. Another thing is, he said that we do not know anything about it, let the law take its own course. I have nothing to do, of almost kind of distancing himself from this entire case. As a cop, Mr. Bhaskar Rao, do you think that this adds up?
Actually, what this girl has done is cheating the whole country of its custom duties. That's a big offense, number one. Number two, this feeling of entitlement that I am daughter of some police officer and I'm entitled to protocol is absolutely uncalled for. In fact, I desire to bring it to the notice of the CEO of BIAL that this protocol is a huge racket in BIAL. There are protocol officers of police department, customs, high court, other government departments, which is there to facilitate the quick check-in and departure of some of their own officers. But it is blatantly being misused by their family members and also by some of their friends also. And now I am told after this incident, when I got back to my contacts, that you can avail protocol services by paying somebody. You can, for 500 rupees, you can jump off CISF security over there, you can jump off the security over there, and you can be sent right after that. So this is a huge danger for departures. But as regards arrival is concerned, in this particular case, that waiting, the car, police car was waiting, somebody in uniform comes there, and this girl doesn't even get frisked, and she is taken away. This is something very, very dangerous. Who is she to be entitled to this kind of protocol services? And why was this allowed? Someone can be allowed to be picked up from the airport, that too from a private car. Allowing a government car to be sent for daughter, son, etc. itself is another sense of misuse over there. And taking it to protocol levels. And apart from that, what I'm finding it a little more, as a policeman, I'm telling you, that in less than 48 hours, she gets remanded to judicial custody. It's probably a little too early to be sent. She should have been called for detailed inquiry. And it is not that only DRI is investigating. The customs should have been invoked, act should have been invoked over there, IT should have been invoked, ED should have been brought in. All of them should have sought their custody. Why all these things was not done? Because once she goes to judicial custody, she is quite capable of being tutored to speak whatever she has to speak, etc. Normally, in such cases, it is the multi-agency CBI just got that MLAT powers. MLAT is that facility
Right.
which allows you to utilize the foreign investigative agencies connection. For
Right.
example, as you rightly mentioned, if she has gone to Dubai, no shooting, no promotions.
Yes.
Where did she stay? Whom did she meet? What was the source of income?
Yeah.
And
And
who all
yeah.
came in touch with her?
Yeah.
Those things, whether I don't
Yeah.
know that
But but
DRI has
but
that
what about,
wherewithal,
yeah,
but the
Mr.
CBI
Rao?
definitely has
Yeah.
the wherewithal to investigate these things.
Yeah, Mr. Rao, as a cop, I'm asking you this, that for Mr. Ramachandra Rao to say that I have no inclination of what is going on. You know, I'm now, Mr. Rao is also a father, whether his stepfather, parent is a parent. I don't want to go into their personal details and all that. How come, you know, as cops, and I've lived with one, I mean, they have this sixth sense, I think. I just feel, and I'm not at all, with due respects to Mr. Ramachandra Rao, nowhere am I suggesting anything. Who am I? I'm just a journalist. But I
Okay.
think to kind of clearly say that I do not know, let law take its own course, something doesn't add up there, Mr. Bhaskar Rao.
See, okay, you are in a way you are right. Uh, you have said very clearly that it has not cast aspersions over here, and whatever he has said. But definitely, what happens is that you become questionable and you come under a cloud. So let the investigation clear this whole thing. When he has himself said that let an impartial investigation without any hindrance clear the role of the father. The father says, I have no role over here. Fine, it's fine because the vehicle was available and an uniformed police
Okay.
person comes all the way inside and takes away this person without being frisked. And I must say that airports have also become very lax when it comes to politicians' children, judges of high court, children of
Actors, actresses,
actresses,
everyone.
etc.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
should
I've
not.
seen. Yeah,
Sudha,
yeah.
wait a minute. Can this same thing be done in any other international airport?
I
Because when you are
know.
in India, you can get away with anything because of your connections.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Sood, you know, what you started with, I think Mr. Bhaskar Rao actually exploded many of those myths and said, even if it is happening, it should not happen. It's a blatant misuse. And I just don't understand, Mr. Sood, you're a security analyst. I want to ask you, a person goes to Dubai, it's a morning evening flight, sir. Maximum one overnight stay must be. One has been to Dubai, I think all of us have. Maximum an overnight. It's a 3.5 hour flight, you know, that's about it or little more. I just don't understand that, you know, on whose authority does a man in uniform come, take this young woman and put her in her car, take her through Green Channel. It is only later when they suspected something is wrong. I mean, you can't be going up and down like this. That is when they decided, and this is not the, imagine she's worn this belt with large amounts of gold. If we have the visuals, I would like the, viewers to see those gold biscuits or slabs. Look at that. Look at that. You know, strapped to her belt with a crepe bandage and loads of tape, and she comes out. Mr. Sood, someone was caught napping, I think. Something is very, very rotten in the security system at the airport.
Yes, probably initially someone was caught napping, but then as I read the report, the DRI or the Customs Intelligence Wing started trailing her, trailing her in the sense that started tracing her movements to and fro, and they started keeping an eye on her. And finally, when they were sure that that she was carrying this amount of gold, they apprehended her. So yes, there has been a lapse. And number two, this green channel thing is something very problematic. Everyone walks through that, and there is one odd or two customs person standing there, trying to look at you and randomly asking you to show their luggage and all. So, but then this should have been specially from people coming from Dubai and Singapore and these places where people are known to have indulged in smuggling, gold smuggling and other smuggling of other items. There should be stricter vigil on those people.
Right.
And especially in her case, the vigil should have been very strict because, as you said, she was frequently visiting that place
That's right, sir.
without
Yeah.
any commitment.
Yes.
Another point I want to mention,
Yes,
which
sir.
Mr which was mentioned earlier also. This VIP culture is the bane of our country.
Yeah, but it goes
Everyone is
on.
a VIP.
But then it
I'm a
goes on.
VIP in my organization, and there'll be a platoon of people coming after me, dropping me at the airport, and then there'll be two protocol people taking me inside up to our, and then they would also indicate to the security
Yeah, but
person that
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm happy that you began your conversation by saying that it does happen, but now I'm happy that you're also saying it's a bane. You're using a very, very strong word there as bane, and totally. But then who's going to put a stop to this? Because what is that hurry that I can stand in a queue? I've seen pregnant women, advanced stage standing there, old people standing there. I don't know what is the big hurry, as if they're finding a cure for cancer that they need to be taken, first than everyone else waiting behind. Mr. Rao, this case also shows that with the brazenness and impunity that this young woman did this again and again and again, there is complete lack of fear. There is also a sense of I'm privileged. There is also a sense of I will be protected. Nothing will come out of this entire thing. So it also shows the systemic failure, as it were, in the entire system, that it is not geared up really to kind of segregate the good from the bad, the cheats from the good fellow, Mr. Rao.
It is good that DRI caught. See, what you are saying, entitlement and pain, etc. When big corruption is taking place at a higher level, how can you try to correct small corruption at lower level? Everyone wants to do something to benefit themselves, and everybody wants to use whatever power, authority, or position they have over there. So that is what is happening. Now this girl has been caught. Probably in a week or so, this whole thing would be forgotten, and we don't know what is going to be the fate of this case. And somehow it is going to get closed. That's my fear. Because these things normally don't proceed very, very long. And if you take the history of convictions over there, what kind of convictions have taken place? The benefit of doubt has been granted. Now it is into a lot of news. There's a lot of trial by media, etc. going on. It will all end till the next incident is going to take place. But integrity in public life can be brought about only from the political level. So all the lower minions, lesser minions send their vehicles. See, if an officer is provided 5, 6 vehicles, so one for himself, one for his wife, one for his children, one for miscellaneous things. See, in those days, there used to be one vehicle provided. So all these things is something which the system has got sort of bloated, and now we are paying the price of this. Now, with this incident, let us see how much of commitment it is going to show. But as a cop, I can only tell you that this liaising with the foreign agencies, I don't know what the DRI's powers are, but definitely it is the CBI which comes into the picture. They have all the wherewithal to deal with phone call records, CCTV records,
Right.
taxi movement records, and purchase records of any perpetrator, alleged perpetrator outside the
Yeah,
country.
you have hope, Mr.
Whether
Rao.
everybody has been given the, definitely I don't know whether DRI has the wherewithal to do it over there. That's why I said CBI should step in here, and it all depends upon how this case is going to get escalated from DRI, and whether DRI is going to refer to enforcement directorate, because that much of money which was located in the house, somebody has to answer.